Right, ladies and gentlemen, we move on with bout 7 this evening, so would you please welcome to the cage, Lefteris Moumoris! Welcome his opponent to the cage, Marcel! Amateur MMA over 3-minute rounds of action. And in the red corner, he weighed in at 154.9 pounds. He represents Southend Combat Academy, Lefteris Moumoris. And his opponent in the blue corner. He weighed in at an even 155 pounds. He represents Revolution Martial Arts, Marcel! Your referee in charge of the action, Mr. Dan Mullaney.
And as we move towards the top of the bill here in the preliminaries, we've got one more to go, which should be absolutely mesmerizing. Lefteris Moumoris from Southend Combat Academy in the red corner versus Marcel from Revolution Martial Arts. Marcel in the blue corner and Lefteris Moumoris in the red. Lefteris there with the white gloves, eats a big right hand. And Guy looks absolutely devastating there, trying to counter those kicks, those single kicks, and then chops in with a right of his own. Big exchanges from both men, every single strike being thrown with evil intent.
Moumoris now looking for that way in, but he's got to be careful about leaving that lead leg out, Chris. Big swing and a miss from Marcel.
So you just get the feeling there with these knockout shots being thrown that at some point somebody is going to get clipped. Vicious right low kicks from Marcel. An absolute unit at the weight. I love how both these guys are nearly identical in their physique. Both very powerful, physically imposing athletes.
Moumoris looking a bit tense. It could be the nerves, because it could be his his boxing style. He's quite tense then. He's standing quite face on, giving a big target to Marcel, where Marcel's nice and loose on the outside. You see the way he's able to utilize that beautiful footwork, that low squatted stance to load up the power for those kicks and punches, Chris.
I like the low kick attack right now from Marcel. He pivots very nicely to throw power into those, but he made a critical error there as Moumoris tries to capitalize and hit full mount. Look at this though, Marcel, possible leg lock option here.
Moumoris has got to be careful about leaving his leg there. Definitely land some strikes, but more importantly, get your leg out of that position.
And he's going to get a warning there from Daniel Movahidi about the rule set here. Heel hooks not allowed.
It's the twisting, Chris. Often that will serve to tear the ligaments in the knee. So I think they've outlawed that because it's quite a lengthy time off. We don't want to see these fighters injured for a long period of time. But Moumoris on the ground, showing us his jiu-jitsu skills, able to pass now into side control.
Moumoris with another possible opportunity here. This has been a very, very quick fight. As far as the transitions and the back and forth exchanges, it seems really at multiple points that one might gain the upper hand, then the other punches in, the other one takes a fall.
Moumoris sitting in that scarf hold, a judo technique.
And he's playing a little bit of Keiza Katami there, but only a few seconds left to go in the round means that guy should be able to ride this one out, and he does with a great reversal of position. That's the danger there of that technique. Moumoris did have it cinched up nicely, but you have to really pay attention to your weight distribution because round 2 of a scheduled 3 here tonight in LFC. LFC 10, Moumoris versus Marcel at the top of the bill here in the prelims. The action thick all night. And these two at the top of the heap here in the prelims for good reason, Dean. They've been technical, they've been powerful, and it's been exciting where it seemed it was all gonna go downhill for one at one point and then the other. I mean, just look at that. Moumoris looked like he was in big trouble there from that kick, but then he's okay.
Moumoris now has opened up a little bit of his striking game, and this is a good thing, Chris, because it will help his ground game. If he wants to get a takedown, he needs to mask it with these strikes. You see, he's throwing these punches out now with a bit more initiation, with a little bit more vicious intent behind them. Marcel still loose, blasting that leg. Oh, again with that kick. You can see the redness on the left leg of Moumoris. Oh,
and a grimace there. Moumoris noticeably phased. I think Guy Marcel smells a finish here. But what I like is his patience. He always seemed very comfortable on the outside, whereas Moumoris was probably a little bit more of an in-fighter.
Those kicks now, look, see that? That's a telltale sign that he is injured. Now he looked to take the fight to the ground. Excellent catch and a kick by Moumoris. See, if he looks to pass, what he's gonna do, Chris, is throw those legs to the side like a bullfighter would. Now, again, inside control. Let's see if he's learnt, Chris, from this loss. He's gonna look to go to mount. Let's see if he sits in this Keiza Katami scarf hold and stops himself getting swept. He's the danger of getting his back taken or the sweep.
He's actually got Keiza Kazuri there because he's got an underhook on the far side. Katami is when he's got the scarf hold, i.e. the lock around the neck only. But when you maintain an underhook, i.e. with his right arm at this time, that's a slight different variation. So never mind the technicalities there in Japanese. It's going down here tonight in Britain. Now, Moumoris, exactly really what he wished for, Dean, a chance to rest against those leg strikes.
A near sweep again from Marcel. But now this position here, Moumoris, if he can start thinking about the mounted triangle, but Marcel on the bottom, very apt with his bucks, Chris. He uses all of his power in his legs and his body to try and buck and change the momentum. Now Moumoris, north-south, perhaps looking for the north-south choke. He'll try and get his arm around the neck of Marcel and scoot his hips backwards.
He's got an option here. He had his arm in the right position. The problem is with these bigger gloves, it's so much more difficult to get your grip tight, especially with this type of choke. There we go. No, he's got it. I like this. He's got that, Dean. Marcel is definitely feeling this here. He's just got to sink and get all the way close down to the mat. He's got to sink in as low as possible. Get your hips down. Try to sink like a puddle of water. Wow. Saved by the bell. Top of the prelims and the final round. The pressure's on, the bright lights are shining. Moumoris and Marcel continue to do battle here tonight at LFC 10.
Marcel now utilizing the fakes and feigns again with that leg kick. Didn't put as much power into that one. This could be evident that he's aware of the striking game of Moumoris. Now he's shown it. Let's see if Moumoris can time one of those kicks, catch it, Chris, and take Marcel down. Moumoris must know that these kicks are going to come low and they're going to come quick. Nice body shot. Right hand from Moumoris. Oh, again with those kicks.
I like how Marcel actually leans backwards as well. There's a lot of different schools of thought on how to deliver the best. See, just like that, he knew it wasn't going to come up short, so he pulled it. But I like the way he actually leans back to avoid the punch counter. You know, some gyms will say that you need to actually stand very tall when you deliver a kick to the body and actually keep everything centered. But a lot of Thai guys you'll see lean back off those kicks, and that's what Marcel does very nicely, actually. And that school of thought to try there, just like that. You see him sit a little more centered there, but a lot of times he'll lean back to avoid the damage. Never mind the distance, though. It would seem Moumoris wants it at close range.
Moumoris, exactly what he needs to be doing, but he needs to catch that leg underneath the ankle, Chris, and hike it right up to the sky to put Marcel off his balance. There's that left hook we saw from Marcel. Very patient on the outside body shot, picking apart Moumoris. Moumoris looking for the takedown, but he can't do it from that far out because it's too telegraphed.
Marcel and Moumoris continue to trade here as the pace is slowed just a little bit. Offsides play there, a switch kick to attack the inside thigh of Marcel. Of course, the target being that femoral artery. In actuality, it would appear that chopped up a little bit too high. I think that was inadvertent. Marcel complaining, visibly distraught, shall we say, as every guy in the audience knows his pain.
Takes a while to recover from those down there in the nether regions, but he's a warrior, Marcel. He's going to shake it off and come back. And noticeably, we can see Moumoris' corner now screaming, take him down. He has to commit 110% to this takedown. He needs to mark it with strikes though, Chris. Put those strikes up top and go underneath the counter, or perhaps catch the leg of Marcel.
And it's the moment that Marcel forgets about the takedown threat that Moumoris would be wise to time it. Look at Moumoris box here. He's sitting down on his punches. That's the danger, though. You put weight down on that leg, and it gets hurt. You play with fire, and you get burnt. Look at this, though. Moumoris into the clinch. Double underhooks from Moumoris. Prying, searching for daylight to try to get his man down to the canvas.
I love the way Marcel is so aware in this fight. He heard Moumoris' corner shout, go for the double, so he shot that underhook in very tight. But now Moumoris looking for the single leg. He's going to try and drop down and clasp a leg of Marcel, but Marcel doing a great job of forcing his hips backwards into the cage, Chris, keeping his base nice and low.
10-second clapper. Moumoris looking to unload the knees. Moumoris with the pressure. Marcel trying to pummel his way out here as both fighters trade knees, and it's the end of the fight.
Moumoris frantically working for that takedown up against the cage. Was it too little, too late?
It wouldn't surprise me if Moumoris walked away with a decision. We've seen some very close decisions here tonight. Malcolm Martin with the announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always tonight, please let's hear for both men in the cage. Superb entertainment. And these men have taken us to a split decision in favor of the blue corner, Guy Marcel.